Alright, in this video we're going to talk about working with color in Photoshop. First of all, we need to understand that there are two main color models for what's called process color that we will be dealing with. When I create a new document here, you can see that one of the things it asks me is what color mode do I want to be in? RGB or Cmyk? Now we've also got grayscale, bitmap, and lab, and we'll talk about those in a little bit, but first I want to focus on RGB and Cmyk. Cmyk color is meant for printing. So anytime you're going to send something to print, you're going to be producing it in Cmyk or in a lab color, which again we'll talk about in a minute. Cmyk stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And here you'll notice that we also get the resolution. If I were to go to a print preset, you'll notice that it not only changes it to 300 pixels per inch resolution. That's also known as 300 dots per inch, or DPI. So when we're printing something, we're usually going to be at least 300 DPI. Now, my other option is RGB. RGB is generally for things that are going to be, always really, for things that are going to be produced by light. So this is things like computer displays, cell phones, slides, projectors, things of that nature. So when you're producing something for the internet, when you're producing something for an application, you're going to be working in RGB. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. And that means that those are the colors that are mixed together to produce all the colors that we see. The resolution for anything done in this format is generally 72 pixels per inch or 72 dots per inch. So we don't need to have as much of a resolution when we're working with RGB or with light-enabled things that are going to go on a computer, as we do when we're working with print things. In that case, we need this 300 DPI at least. Now, let's go ahead and just create an RGB one to start off with. Up here, I've got my color panel. My color panel, you'll see that I have sliders here for red, green, and blue. And these sliders, I just move them left and right to find all the different colors in the spectrum. Completely down, I'm looking at black, so that's no red, no green, no blue. If I go all the way to the right, up there, then now I'm at red. And as I move these sliders to different positions with the right mixes of red, green, and blue, I can get every color in the spectrum. Over here we've got code. These run for each slider between 0 and 255. So this is ways to find specific colors. If we're working with this blue here, then that would be 130, 157, 214 of RGB. I can also click down here to kind of jump to a certain area in the spectrum. So let's say I know I'm going to kind of want a purple. I'm going to go down there and click on that. And now I'm at a purple, but now I can adjust these sliders to fine-tune that and get the exact purple that I want to have. So that's working with RGB in the color mode, or the color panel. If I come over and click on this menu of the color panel, I can switch now to Cmyk. Cmyk is very similar. I've got the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black sliders, and where they are, again, creates all the different colors in the spectrum. We've got codes over here on the right, 37%, 64%, 31%. You'll notice where RGB went 0 to 255, Cmyk actually goes 0 to 100%. So a different way to do the codes, but the same purpose. You would give someone that code in order for them to be able to find an exact color that they were looking for. So these sliders are one way that I can choose colors. Another way that I can choose colors is what's called the color picker. Over here in my toolbar, I've got those two swatches that we've been dealing with, the foreground color and the background color. We've primarily been doing those in black and white to use our brushes and things of that nature. But if I double click on this brings up the color picker. I'm on the foreground color because that's what I clicked on. And in here, again, I can put in my RGB code, my Cmyk code, or I can do something called Hue Saturation Brightness, which we also have over here in the color panel under HSB sliders. Hue Saturation Brightness, we just find the hue that we want on this little color wheel there. And once we've found the hue that we want, we can go left to right for the saturation. So we add white to it the more to the left we go, and more pure color the more to the right we go. And then brightness is up and down. So we've got going black, closer to black down here. And anywhere on here I can find the color I'm looking for.